beings. Okay, we're going into what needs to be said. Not to discourage anybody from connecting to spirit guides, spirit world, spirit beings. But to give you a little bit more clarity of it, at least another perspective, you don't have to take it, you take wherever you want. Of course, there's many people that are afraid of the spirit world, which are connected to religions. That's a whole nother story there. Some are just going to be trapped here for a long time. So this fifth dimensional alien disclosure. So this has to do with, I would be a little bit cryptic with it. Well, it's about individuals, alien events that still can occur on an individual level, but it can't be, meaning like alien beings can't connect to us and become known publicly. I'm not going to go into too much detail on that. Like you have contactees, but there's also where it can be known publicly. Like people actually see, events occurring. Like they actually see it. Like you definitely see it in the Bible. Let's put it that way. I don't have an example there, but just biblical events. Let's put it that way. But it's more aliens involved with it. Of course, people are connecting more to that. It's like some biblical events might have been alien related. And that's, well, you go by what you feel on that. So it's, it doesn't mean that this is going to happen now, but it does exist. It can happen. I'm not going into full details of this in this segment, but maybe tomorrow I'll go into a little bit further with how I'm talking about. We'll channel those energies of it. Well, connect to the alien world. I'm not going into super detail on this, but it's basically it's not necessarily to bring proof to people because they don't care about proving anything. It's about helping us evolve to the next level, to show us that we're not here by ourselves, and it's more to it than that. But kind of like the Billy Meyer thing, you can say that comes to mind. Obviously, that can be debunked, or it's true, it's not true. Kind of like that, but not exactly where I'm getting at. The Phoenix Lights is another example, but I'm talking about more on a personal level. Maybe have some to an individual, and then the world sees it and sees some weird shit. That's what I'm getting at. So, like something you see out of the Bible without going into too much details. So, doesn't mean that it's going to happen now, because you see how the world is getting really weird. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense right now. Gas prices are changing. Doesn't mean that alien visitation is going to happen now. It could. Anything's possible. Everything's up in the air right now. Of course, it's always been, but yeah, this summer, some people are seeing catastrophes. I'm not saying that. I mean, for some people, if you need to go through a catastrophe, it's there for you. If you need to go through, total damnation, it'll be served to you if you need to go through that. So it's testing people. When they say predictions about, hellfire or whatever, some people need to experience that on an individual level. So, and Clueless spirit world. So this is like for those that need to get more in check with their spirit being. Some people do give too much power to their spirit guides, but their spirit guides are failing all the time, and then wonder why their lives aren't going anywhere. It's clearing out your spirit team is very important. Now, not everybody is ready for that, but for those that are, I've talked about this on like a broken record. Sometimes the spirit world is so spiritual, they're disconnected from our reality. I mean, they can get arrogant, they can get stupid. I'm not gonna mention names. Some of that passed a while back. That's very controversial, really disliked. I heard guides are saying, "We're not stupid." It's like, are you sure about that? Especially this person's name is kind of mud at this point. I'm not going to mention names because some people find that real, oh, we still learned a lot from you. And that's true. But it doesn't mean the spirit world's not stupid. They can get arrogant, and I'm not trying to downplay them. I mean, to discourage people to connect with it, just realize that if you feel things aren't going right around you, it's good to clear out your space. Tell your spirit team to get it going, get it on, or to get rid of them and get new ones. And I'm bringing it up for a reason, because guys can get lazy, and not everybody's ready to see that or get to that level. I mean, that's just. I mean, I'm not too impressed by the spirit world, to be honest with you. I mean, I think they're overplayed, overly hyped. I mean, I don't think they know what the hell they're doing half the time. So, I mean, yeah, they can see things more clearly than us, but it doesn't mean they might be able to see things clearly, but that doesn't mean they know what the hell they're doing with their own lives. So it's like they might see things that we can't see, and anybody can see it from their point of view. If you're in that point of view, but it doesn't mean that they can live their lives well. Doesn't mean they can't screw things up. It means they can't become a drug addict. They were here. Boy, that's the truth. And so on. So, you have spirit beings here that might be able to give you good advice, and that's good. But it doesn't mean that, they can get their own act together. So I know it's like a whole nother, who's thinking like that? Probably not many people. I think, people are still understanding the spirit world still, and others are getting a little bit deeper into it. And those aren't really ready for, it's like the Disney version of it, like the fantasy version. Oh, they know what they're doing. I can find out later on. It's like, well, I'm not sure if they know what they're doing now. I mean, you got to trust their future. You got to trust. You have no point. You got no choice to trust. You have to trust where we're going. It's just, you might have the Beverly Hillbillies helping you. So, yeah, and clearing that energy. If you feel like you're on track and you got a good spirit team around you, that's good. But not everybody feels that way, and don't know what to do about it. So, yeah, just pull out the whip and start whipping them. You can do it a nice way or whatever way. But it is, and I'm not discouraging connecting with them or anything like that. You just realize that they have issues too. Just because they're in the spirit world doesn't mean they're perfect. Far from it. Yeah, when people cross over and find, wow, you guys have a lot of problems. It's like, I mean, they might be perfect looking, and they might be all beautiful, nice suntan, whatever, but it doesn't mean that they're not full of flaws. So, and they are. So, and also the karmic court. This one's a little bit more, you can come here with contracts that can't be broken. You go into the karmic court. Karmic court is to help you move at timelines, to break contracts so you can move forward. The karmic court does exist. I did have years ago, maybe it was a year ago. I had a dream of some of my family members, and they're being a pain in the ass. And I finally got to move to where I am currently. So something was broken there. Yeah, it's just like the karmic court moves very, very slowly. So it can happen for years for them to finally see your side of the story. It's true. I know it sounds weird, but it does it. It sounds like, what, a karmic court, really? It's like, it does exist. So it's like, if you feel like you're being treated unfairly here or things aren't working right, yeah, it's good to shout out to the karmic court and to share your complaints on them. Yeah, it's like a judge. You have a bunch of judges, and I don't think it's just one. And that doesn't mean they know what the hell they're doing either. Yeah, the spirit world is kind of, I mean, there are good sides to it, but a lot of beings still have not figured it out. So that's why we're here. I mean, we can handle the density here, but when the spirit world fails, it makes it even harder to be here. Because, if you can't have your spirit team working with you well, and you're dealing with all this stuff here, and they're clueless, because they're not dealing with what you're doing. Some guides can feel what you're going through, but they can also become too human. Even in the spirit world, they become too human. It's kind of messed up when you think about it. It's complicated. It's sort of. I don't know. It's just they have a lot of growing up to do. So us being here is a big deal because we can handle this environment. A lot of spirit beings can't handle this. So yeah, give yourself a merit badge. Yeah, they cannot handle the day-to-day grind, doing the same thing over and over again. It's mundane, but a lot of them can't handle that. They live in, some of them have lived in the paradise reality for such a long time. This all doesn't make any sense. But some of them can give you good advice. So it's not like I'm throwing them all under the bus. I'd actually throw them all under the bus, actually. Even if they do give good advice, it's like, that's good, but you still have a long ways to go of understanding us, because they can be really messed up. So it's just, like I said, I don't want to like knock out the spirit world as like they're all stupid. I mean, there's a lot of stupidity there. Just for them to get smarter. And so individually, see, this is where it gets complicated. Some people have spirit being, like it's having a family. Your family might be cool, and your spirit family might be cool. But I think a lot of us just have your family here is not cool, and your spirit team don't know what they're doing either. So you have like the Beverly Hillbillies around you as guides, and you better be recruiting guides, making them better. You're doing, you're training them and all that, and it's just a pain in the ass. And some people here aren't going to know what the hell that is. Well, because you can't see them, but you can feel it. So if you have good company around you, that's good. But not everybody has that. It's weird. It's a hard. You just got to go by your feelings of it. What does it feel? What do they feel like? Do you feel like they're doing a good job? Everything's fine, but you feel like you have some that are kind of freeloading on your energy. It's good to clear that frequency out. You feel like you're stuck. It's good to clear out your energy field, clear out the guides you don't need. Karmic court, it's good to, it's like, hey, karmic court, because they can hear you telepathically. You need to change. I need a life change. You need to get your act together. So it doesn't mean they always come through, but it's really, it's really hard for them because they're at such a different level, handling the stress here, and we get frustrated with them. You might see, that's the thing, you might get frustrated with them and not even know it. You wonder where you're getting your anxiety from. A lot of it could be just by you feeling let down by them, and you have no idea where his anxiety is coming from. So it's but that's what this whole ascension is about knowing about that. It'd be nice if you have conversations with regular people, because you have like regular people you can talk to about this. It's like you just feel what's around you and you can talk about it. That helps you, upgrade your field. But a lot of people are not talking about that stuff. So even spiritual people don't talk about it that much. I don't think they do. Talk about gossip and whatever. They can, what cult they're going to join. That's good to hear. Or they're not part of a cult when they actually are defending it. Or some spiritual people are, I'm noticing recently, they're actually evil and don't know it. I'm here to help everybody. It's like, oh, I get an evil tone there, and they have no idea. So whatever works. Yeah, some are the villain and don't know it. Yeah, it might take a lifetime to figure that one out. As I'm talking about our private sessions schedule at the shop here. I'm on, I don't know, May somewhere 20th, something like that. Same situation here. We have a webinar, social network behind the scenes. And so it's not exactly, hopefully this is helpful for some people to clear out their fields and, obviously daily conversations with other people. This is not, this is a personal thing. Eventually there'll be one day where you can talk about this stuff with other people and even see guides when you're talking to other people about it, which would be kind of cool. Hopefully that's good. But yeah, that's more of the future. What future? Like when? That's another story. 1,000 years from now, 10,000, a million years. It's hard to say at this point. So many people are focused on the controllers here, and that's fine. Some are going through a lot of inner healing. They're talking about that conspiracy. What was it? The drone armies or something like that coming to get us. I don't know, whatever. A lot of that's inner work you're doing on yourself, or fear of that. Like, a drone army take over your world, another reality, or something like that. Or if you're really, some that are, spiritual news or something like that, they're actually dealing with their own stuff. It's like, I'm here to bring you the truth, but they're actually healing their own traumas. Not to say it's not truth, who knows? I can't always prove a lot of this stuff. So some are actually disclosing themselves and not even realizing it. They're disclosing their own inner turmoil, especially the secret space program stuff, where it's not always what it seems to be. It's like, meaning other alien lifetimes, they're still kind of unwinding, clearing out. I don't think in the alien secret space program, I'm just going by a vibe here. Like, alien relationships aren't always mentioned, meaning like you can be like really burned in an alien relationship, like a Palladium being didn't get along with this other being, and you like even start a war or whatever, and then you get whatever happened with that. And you might be remembering everything but that part, but the love triangle issue. Oh, they put this into me and they did that, yada yada yada. Not realizing it might have been some kind of love triangle. You didn't get along with somebody or whatever. So anyway, there's a lot of layers out there. We'll figure out eventually. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'm just talking another language. I don't think so. All right, so it's happened. We're going to like unknown here for some. It feels like it is. Anyway, the spirit world is. It's got issues. Let's put it that way. It's not completely a lost cause, but the more people become aware of it, it's we don't have to know about it every 24 hours or anything, but you just become more synced into the spirit world, and they talking to you, you're talking to them. That's a good thing. That's what people want, right? Well, that's what this is all about. Not everybody's ready for it, and there's no wrong in that. But it's like eventually, whenever that happens, to heal the earth problems, whenever that'll be. But there will be people more connected to their spirit energies, and aliens will show up here and there, and they'll even get pictures of it more clearly as the world still beats itself up. There'll be places where it's finding more peace. You have more the aliens, how screwed up the spirit world is, whatever. It's like some people get biased, like they feel, oh, the spirit world's perfect, it's fine. So you're kind of blocking yourself from what's really there. Nothing wrong with that. It just takes a while to digest everything. It's like understanding religion is kind of screwed up. It's kind of like that. So, from what I can see, for some groups or some channeling groups, they're not letting go of that spirit, that religious energy anytime soon. We should. So, okay. All right, we're going to fifth dimension alien disclosure. And they can say that's part of this subject of connecting to guides and things like that. So, okay. Greetings to you. We are spirit guide councils. There are many councils, guide councils. We are similar to like the UN, but in the spirit world. Yes, with a lot of flaws. We do get infiltrated, not exactly like your world, but there are infiltrations every now and then because, we are connected to your planet. So we have to have some kind of issues like yours. But Basically, the spirit councils. Now you can name it whatever you wish, but that's also connected to the astral and where you are going. How this all is put together. Obviously, not everything can be laid out for you in all details. You have to live what you're here to live. So you might kicking and screaming about it, but um, it's a lot's been shut off from your astral, your chakras, meaning your memories, so you can you know repair weaknesses to strengthen yourself at certain levels. There's always going to be growth, no matter what anybody says. It's like you're becoming a better person, you can say. That's one way of looking at it. But all this says, as you can see, many humans here bring a lot of conflict to themselves. But it is like a painter there to paint themselves, to create, to build themselves, the characteristics, to turn, your claymation, you're building like you're building your structure. So obviously not everyone's going to agree with what you did. No one's going to agree with anything that anyone's doing. You're basically puzzle pieces, and you might be removing things that would make sense to make your life easier, to make it more chaotic. And some of you are incarnating chaotic situations to heal those situations, especially if you have chaotic parents and you're not chaotic at all. So they need somebody that is a little bit sane, not here to cause any trouble while others are trying to sort out their own issues. So coming here, incarnating here, you can say it is a risk of like, is your soul going to survive this planet? It is just lost itself on so many levels. But there is an excitement of unraveling the mysteries to find inner peace. So many are going. So yes, many are connected to the secret space program and doing a lot of galactic conflicts. Some of it is relationship related, personal relationships, being backstabbed by friends, and that might not be remembered. You might remember, yes, everything, but how you even got involved with it. Some people, some beings get involved with it, some kind of secret space alien program to get away from their problems, and then they get into things they didn't really sign up for, but that technically they did, but they forgot they anyway. They didn't read at the dotted line when they're signing up. And that's another thing. A lot of souls feel like they can handle this incarnation because they see it as easy. Well, they see what they can get out of it. They can see how much they can grow. But once they're here, it's a whole different story. Yes, many souls incarnate with their blinders on. They just don't see. They don't want to see. Some just diving, like you jump into a pool. On a diving board, you go up the high diving board and jump. It's like, oh man, that hurts. The Think about incarnating like that, especially when you've had incarnations of peace for such a long time. You've been in higher dimensional realms where things have just worked out for you. It's like, and you look at Earth, it's like, wow, I can really help that place. You incarnated the world, it's like, oh, this is how it is. I guess I should have listened to those warnings. Because some souls don't listen to the warnings. And many of you have family members that you're just like, I told you not to incarnate here, or be more careful, do something different, and they weren't listening. Some of you might even remember that. Some of the reasons why you incarnate, because some of your family members incarnated here and couldn't handle it. So it's like, I guess I gotta dive in now. And you become their kid or friend or whatever it might be. So there's a lot of that happening here. So I don't call it a lost cause. It might feel that way. It's just that this world shuts off the higher astral, as you can see. And a lot of times that's for the better, because when you start seeing alien beings everywhere, causing mayhem, doing things they should not be doing, because that's what's happening in other dimensions. That distracts you from being human. So basically, you get to a certain level of your humanness. Some of you get to a certain level of being humans. Okay, I think I've not to say you've learned every lesson or all lessons, or not to say you're an expert on this planet or anything like that, but you get to a level where you can handle the unknown, the paranormal, the bizarre. And then little by little, you start seeing alien energies, and maybe some of them aren't the most attractive. Now, some people might see the more positive beings, but not everybody's here to see those things. So, some of you are here to see. The reason why we see the beings are not that attractive, I mean, the beings are manipulating your reality. Not that you need to look at that, but just that they're everywhere. They've stationed themselves here. You might see a positive Palladian being every now and then, but there's other beings that are engineering your reality to be as difficult as possible. And you are shifting your vibration to see that. It's a lot to take in. It's like, opening up your third eye is, there's certain places you can open up. You can open to the nice rainbow people, or there are beings that are not so rainbow. But some of you, are here to, what's a good word of, like, fix the plumbing. So like you're a plumber, it's like you want to go where the problem is. So you're going to see things that are not for everybody to see. Like a plumber is like the plumbing's all bad under the sink. A lot of people look at it as like, I'm not dealing with that. But some of you are like, I'm going to go into that. That's my job. So some of you have a job to see what other people don't want to see, for example. So obviously there are those of you that can see the nice beings, and that's good because you need that frequency here. But some of you are here to see the beings are not what everybody wants to see. So yes, for actual disclosures and alien energies, yes, you are opening up those doorways for movement of the higher dimensions, which, yes, is an alien energy. Well, basically, the positive beings work through you, as you see, like through a channeling, but it can happen in all different ways. Basically, alien beings work through you to do, to change things. All of a sudden, you're moving somewhere else out of nowhere. It's like, wait, I'm just going to get up and move just like that. Well, that shows you're going to your next, spot. But one thing about this is like recruitment. It's like a military operation, technically. Yes, you get stationed in places like Afghanistan and things like that. You might live in like some boring town that's not Afghanistan, but it's like nothing happening. But you are there for a reason. Due to the alien activity that's there that you don't really see. You don't necessarily need to see it. But we're giving you an idea that it's not exactly as pleasant as you think. Once again, there are alien beings that are everywhere causing conflict. You're engineering your reality to be hard. And there are dimensions that even the positive beings cannot interfere with. I mean, they try to, but there's so much of the dark and people are so easy to manipulate. It's like the positive beings do something, but then it gets reversed. So they can work, but it's just not easy. When you have a human race that's following the system, it's hard to change things overnight. There are some wins. There's also a lot of losses. And not to say the negative beings win all the time. No, they fail a lot. And that's where your positive, that's why many of you are here to, you can say, sabotage the dark from accomplishing their mission. You might not be aware of it, but it's happening. And some of you are slowly going to get more an understanding. There are insectoid beings, that's from Orion, that are very powerful, that have very powerful minds. They're just, a lot of them are skinny, they are humanoid. And there are, some of you have an idea of that. There's other beings here, they're reptilians, of course. The insectoid beings are usually more stronger because of their mental powers. Some might call them archons. There are archon beings that are doing the same thing, but some of the insectoids are more. It's not just Orion, there are other places also. So obviously, like I said, this is more of a message for those that are here to tap into that type of energy. Obviously, others are not ready for that. They're just like, oh, well, where are the butterfly beings? And that's good, but some of you are here to see the engineers of your reality. And the karmic cord frequencies, yes, there are beings that are here that tamper with that. They tamper with your timeline. They do it all the time. Then when things make you frustrated, they want you to give up. Just give up and just, but as long as you live another day, you're winning. Even if you feel all confused and what's this all about, because they don't want you to know what you're doing here. Yeah, it's like termite beings that just, they're just going to make things. They don't want you to see anything because they want you to stay out of their business. But that's why many of you incarnate here to battle the unseen. So, like I said, it's not always for everybody to pick things up. Obviously, there's more to what we're saying. The spirit world, yes, now these beings that are here can give you negative guides. They can give you negative guidance and try to sabotage you that way. Somebody probably felt some of that. It connects to abductions and all of that. They're trying to get you off the planet. Do they know you're trouble for them? You survive your life, which many of you are doing. You're finding a way to do it. Nature isn't always the most helpful. You find something to keep you going. What matters is that you survive the day. It is for a greater good. Most of society isn't here to see what's here. Who is? There are specialty jobs that not everybody's here to do. But those of you that have an idea, this all makes sense, right? You can't see this in other dimensions, but there's something going on in other realities. And it's not just insectoid beings doing it, but a lot of them are insectoid beings doing it. It's beings with just powerful minds. And they don't have you in the best interest. But you are breaking through their grids. You wouldn't be here if that wasn't the case. So it all has a worth in the long run. So blessings.